everyone, welcome to my channel Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily and this week we are doing Heidi Sonboul's Easter DIY challenge. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell and you'll never miss an update. Okay, so we're going to take this cute little Easter basket from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take this tinsel, I think is pretty much what it is that's on here. Once you find the start of where this tinsel attaches, it is so easy to just take off of there. It does have a little bit of wire in it, so I would kind of be cautious of using your scissors to cut it off with. But really, once you find a place that it starts winding off, it's super easy to get off. Then I'm just going to take each of these little eggs out. And that way you're just left with the basket form. So I'm taking a little bit of jute twine and I just tie it onto one of the little wires there, if you will. And that way I just go ahead and start wrapping this twine around, kind of making it look like a little bit more of a farmhouse or basket. Not quite so Eastery, a little bit more Easter-ish. Sorry. I'll make it a little bit more muted than all those bright colors. And then I just glue down where I want the twine to stop. And then I use just some of this regular string. I can't even remember what the name of it was. It's some type of just like regular twine. I found it in the automotive section though, over in that aisle at Dollar Tree. And so I just wind it around. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to give it a little bit of a two-tone look. So when I'm done with that, I just cut it off and glue that area down. And then I just tie another area of the twine on and just keep winding that all the way up to the top. And I just make sure when I go around that there are little teeny pokey things that stick out on the plastic form. So I just make sure that I wind enough around that it covers those so they're not sticking out. You don't see those. And then I just go all the way around up to the top. And then same thing, I just glue it down where I want it to stop and then cut that off. And then to do the handle, I tie it on the edge and then I kind of roll my twine up in a ball and kind of put it through. This does take a little bit of time getting this to go all the way over the handle, but it's totally worth it. Once you get to the end, you can just pull that through. And then that way you don't have to have a little ball of twine, if that makes sense. But I just go ahead and tie it off when I get to the end, tuck it down inside with a little bit of glue. So that way it's all covered. And then there is this little lip on the bottom. I take some of the twine and I go ahead and hot glue it on there because wrapping it around it would just come right off. So that I did have to glue that all along the bottom there. So that way it's covered. You can't see any of that gray form at all. And it looks just like a cute little basket. And then what we're going to do is take these eggs and I paint them 3 different colors. I try to do more muted, more natural occurring egg colors. So I do the mineral chalk paint color, I do a celery chalk paint color, and then a baby blue. And I don't remember the exact color of this baby blue. It's not Waverly. I believe it's a folk art. It's one of the chalk paint brands you can get at Joann's. So anyway, I just paint them those 3 colors right there. And then I want them, of course, the speckled eggs are kind of really in. And so I decided to do a little bit of speckling on these eggs. So what I did is I sprayed just a little bit of my spray bottle water onto a plate and dipped my brush into the antique wax and then kind of dried it off so I could take my finger and have spray the little dots all over, and just kind of did that all over the eggs to give them a little bit of a speckled egg look. So then I take some Spanish moss and I just tuck it inside, place my eggs in, and there are some little teeny hooks that they kind of attach to that I stick them into, and then I just use some hot glue to have some of the Spanish moss coming out. So it kind of looks like a nest inside of a basket, I guess. I don't know. I just thought this looked super farmhouse and super cute. I plan on putting it on a 3-tiered tray. I just thought it was kind of a fun little easy thing, and I feel like sometimes those baskets are super easy to find at Dollar Tree. So let me know what you think. Today I am participating in Heidi Sonboul's Easter DIY challenge. I will leave a link to the playlist below as well as to Heidi's channel. I highly recommend hitting play on that playlist and getting all the Easter DIY inspiration that you need. And also I just want to say thanks to Heidi Sonboul for hosting this. So I found this cute little wooden arrow at Dollar Tree. They have different types of arrows, different seasons I've kind of found. So I have a couple of these on hand. I thought it would be really fun to just make a bunny trail sign, kind of put in one of my 3-tiered trays or hanging from one of my shelves. So I'm just giving this a really good coat in white chalk paint. You could use any kind of color that you wanted to use. I was kind of going for a Ray Dunn inspired look. So I actually used my Cricut to print out Bunny Trail in the skinny font, which is a free font that you can find on DaFont. And I just coat this really good in the white chalk paint. And then here is what I have. You could also, if you have really good penmanship, write it on there. Again, if you guys have ever seen me freehand things, you know that that's an absolute fail for me. So I'm just using this, but you could easily do a transfer method or just hand write Bunny Trail on there. And then I'm just going to stick this on here. Now, you guys, I made a horrible mistake here. I did not wait to let my chalk paint dry. And I realized it right about here as I'm sticking that Y down. I'm going, oh no. So I didn't know whether I should start over, what I should do, but I thought I'm going to leave this in here and I'm going to let you guys know that sometimes things like that happen and it totally changes the direction of your project. I actually is a happy accident. I'm so happy this happened. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go in with some wax, antique wax, and I'm going to kind of make those little places where the paint tore off, make it stick out even more, like make it more rustic looking. So this is a very rustic Bunny Trail sign. So I rub the antique wax on. I kind of focus on those little areas where the paint did tear up, and or I don't even know if that's a correct, where it came up, I don't know. Anyway, I even get out some painter's tape since the paint is still a little bit wet, and it's not super wet, like it's just maybe tacky or something. And I try to pull up a little bit more on that part of the arrow so it matched. And then I just use a baby wipe to kind of wipe it off on there, so that way, what my hope is that the wax will seep down into the wood, and that way I can wipe it off the white paint. So I do get some sandpaper to rough up the edges a little bit, and then I also get some mineral chalk paint and do a little bit of dry brushing on there. Focus kind of on the edges and just kind of put it a little bit through the middle. And you can see I got a little heavy in one spot there. I just take a baby wipe and just kind of wipe it down, make it a little bit less. And then I also take some elephant and I go around the edges in this to give it a little bit of a darker look. And then focus kind of on those little corners and edges where dirt, you know, or it might get a little bit more worn. And just keep kind of going and really distress it and give it this really good kind of shabby chic look. And so not exactly what I started out intending for it to look like. However, I'm super happy with how it comes out. You obviously don't have to distress it as much as I did. You don't have to distress it at all. But I just wanted you to know that sometimes things kind of take a different direction. But look at how cute this sign is. I just think this turned out so fun. I'm so excited to use it in one of my tiered trays. Are you guys on Instagram? If you are, definitely come find my channel and say hi. I'm just under Farm Term Chic over there. I love to meet new Insta friends. Definitely send me a message and let me know that you found me through my YouTube channel. I would love to get to know you. All right, let's make an Easter egg wreath. So I'm going to take the middle section out of this wall hanging I got from Dollar Tree and then just take off the little hanging tags there. I'm just going to use this outer rim as an Easter egg wreath form. I take each of these wooden eggs and I trace them out on different scrapbook paper. I do 3 of each kind of scrapbook paper that I have, and then just cut them into some more manageable squares. Then I'm going to take each wooden egg and put a generous amount of glue stick on there. I'm just using the store brand glue stick right here. I've had pretty good success with this. I always buy the purple kind though, so I can see how much I'm putting on there, because you want a pretty liberal amount. I then have this little scraper that I use with my Cricut that I use to scrape it on there to create a good bond. And then I just take an emery board and I go around the edge with an emery board, making sure that the edge looks very crisp and very clean. This is what really gives it that high-end detail, so it's not so ragged around the edges, if you will. And so I do this with each different little square in each egg. And when I use that scraper, I want you to know that I am pushing pretty hard to make sure that it does create that good bond. You want that glue to seep down into all the ridges of the wood and then also adhere to your paper also. And then of course I just take that emery board. I don't even remember where I heard this hack to use an emery board, but it is like the best thing ever. And I just buy the like 20 packs of emery boards on Amazon to use. I love them. They work great for your nails and for crafts. So then I just go ahead and take each egg here, place it in the orientation that I want. I wanted a pretty random pattern. And then I take and kind of gently scrape them off to the side so that way I have an idea of where I'm wanting to place them. I like to set it out beforehand because I don't want to get to a point where I have two of the same one too close to each other, or don't, you know, I mean, that way once they're glued down, they're kind of glued down. So if you do it ahead of time, you can kind of say, okay, I have too many pinks in this area, I need a green, you know, or however, this pattern's too close on this side as it is on the other side. And then as I go through, I'm just gluing each one down. I just use regular hot glue. This is the pattern that I decided, the orientation, I guess you'd say, of each egg that I decided to lay down. Obviously, if you wanted them to go all around in the same direction, I wanted them kind of keeping that egg shape, so a little bit wider at the bottom and all kind of stacking up to the top, if you will. And then I had this bunny and egg, it's not an egg, bunny and carrot wall hanging from Dollar Tree, and I thought this would be cute to add on here, so I add her on there. And then I want to cover up those little holes in her ears, so I decide to glue these carrots down and didn't realize they were backwards, so I just, you know, continue on and glue the happy down and go, oh, whoops, that's not where I want that. So luckily the glue was still warm enough I could just pull it off. So I glue the Easter carrot down and then put the happy one just on top of that, so that way I've got a cute little happy Easter. I have a whimsical little bunny there. I'm so happy with having these and how it all looks together. I did go ahead and use some wooden sticks, twine, and some hot glue to make a hanger on the back. And I also did take some burlap ribbon that I had and just made a cute little bow for her to update her little bow. And then I have her hanging on my pantry door. I usually change my wreath out there for the different seasons, just kind of something fun for my kids. And they absolutely loved this. I'm so happy with it turned out. It's so whimsical, pastel and spring. I absolutely love it. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this one. I had so much fun making these projects. If you had a favorite, definitely let me know down in the comments and check out that playlist. Also, I would love if you would consider subscribing. Thanks, guys. You are amazing.